Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to do a 2025 energy forecast video. I'm super excited about this. I was meditating this morning on some 2025 energies, and I feel really good about this upcoming year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have some cards. I've got the guides all around. And we're going to drop in and just see what messages we need to hear heading into 2025, some big themes that are going to pop up, and we'll just kind of go from there. I just want to remind you of a couple of things. Actually, first thing, I am really excited about 2025, and a big theme that is coming up is really just hitting the ground running. There is a really distinct energy running through 2025 through 2027. I think a lot of us have been in a big type of energetic sludge from 2020 through 2024. And so that's going to change a lot this next year. And so it's really important that we are resourced in hitting the ground running, in expansion, and bringing our goals to fruition and getting really clear on our vision. And so everything that I am planning for 2025 is really calibrated to that. So I have a couple of things coming up. First of all, in the membership, Next Level You, the membership itself is designed to support you in actualizing your next level self. So we have a library of guided meditations, guided energy work that are meant to be used each day or each week to help you clear your energy field, talk to your higher self, talk to your spirit guides, clear out anything that's blocking you, and really get clear on what you need to do to ground your visions into reality. So if you haven't done meditations or energy work with me before, try it out. We have a 7-day free trial because my meditations and my energy work is very different than other things that you probably have experienced. These facilitate really strong spiritual experiences and really help you get clarity to take action. That is what the membership is all about. But one of the things that we are going to be hosting this next year, which I'm really excited about, are a lot more workshops. So we're starting off the year with a workshop on how to manifest. That is the theme, how to manifest. Now, I know a lot of you probably think you already know how to manifest. I find going back to the foundations is really helpful. This is going to be a large workshop, masterclass. If you're in the membership, this will already be included. It'll be free for you. If you're not in the membership, you could either join the membership to get access to it, or you can register to sign up for it. So we'll put the link in the show notes / description below if you want to sign up for that. That's going to be on January 7th. You'll get the recording if you're in the membership. And if you purchased it, you'll get the replay. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to pull together all of the most important pieces of how to manifest, and I think this is going to clarify a lot of things for you. We want to go back to how you actually shift energy and move energy to take your vision and bring it into reality so that you can actually start living your dream life now. So we're starting there with that workshop. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a huge eye-opener for a lot of you. So check that out. That's happening January 7th. All info will be in that link below. And then the other thing that's coming up is I am hosting a live in-person event in San Diego with my friend Joshua Dean Church. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. He's been on the show many times. It is called the Momentum Experience. It's going to be a half-day workshop here in San Diego, and we will be doing a lot of visioning work, a lot of exercises to help guide you into goal setting for the year ahead and how to bring that to fruition. So the first part is going to be a giant workshop, and we're going to take you through the exercises and practices that Josh and I use personally to get clarity and to start to bring things into reality. So you're going to get a lot of clarity to help build that momentum to step into 2025 in a really potent way. And then we're going to end the day with an epic energy healing and breathwork session. So it's really going to blast you off, get you connected in with your body, clear out any energy blocks so that you are fully prepared to step into this year as your highest self, as your next level self. So link to sign up for that will be below. There are limited spots for that. So be sure to register if you want to join us in person. It's going to be truly out of this world. I'm super excited. So those are some things coming up. Just wanted to remind you of that. And with that, let's jump into this. Like I said, the big theme for 2025 is going to be grounding things in. So this year has a really gold energy. If you've been with me for a while, you know I speak in color, primarily clairvoyant, so I see a lot of things. And the main things that I see every time I tap into 2025, there is a really strong gold energy. There is a strong lion energy. So you can think lion, Leo, power, potency. Power is a really big theme heading into 2025. And so one of the main messages the guides keep giving related to this year is that if you have not really seen the truths that have been trying to pop up for you from 2020 to 2024, it is going to get dissolved, all of those illusions and all of those lies, because you cannot move forward until you see those things. And so there's been a lot of opportunities for us to see the truths that have been lying deeper within us and even within culture and society. And most people haven't made a lot of those realizations. This last cycle has been really related to us connecting in with deeper humility, I would say, realizing that often we think we know what we want and we don't always really know what we want. We think that the things that we want are going to make us happy or are the path forward. And it's this humbling moment of, haha, that's not actually what you want. It's not actually what you need. And so a lot of people have finally come to that place. We had a lot of timeline shifts, so a lot of closure in that last cycle. And so now we're really ready to kind of step into this new beginning and a new energy. And so it's a faster energy. It's an energy of momentum. 2025 is asking us to put our bullshit aside. It's asking us to let life move us forward. It's asking us to get really honest about what's showing up for us now and what would excite us now. And it's asking us to release any previously held plans and let a lot of things crumble and close so that we can step into this new chapter. So as I'm talking, I'm realizing in terms of numerology, I didn't think about this ahead of time. What are we in? 2025, 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9. So completion, ending a cycle. I will say I was in a personal 9 this last year, and that 9 energy, there's a lot of closure, but at the same time, it's a lot of new beginnings. So even though that's coming before the 1, which is a fresh start, it's leadership, it's stepping into the new beginning, you feel a lot of those new cycles opening up in that 9 energy as well, because there is death, there is rebirth, there is transformation. And so I would really lean into that Phoenix energy, that rebirth, that transformation. And I think that there's been a lot of realizations that we've had and things that we've recognized, but we haven't yet fully embodied or integrated. And so 2025 is going to force us to fully integrate it. So I even think about things like, when we did this glow up episode, it's like, how can I fully embody this new version of myself? There's a lot of physical changes that are going to want to be made. There's a lot of changes in relationships that are going to want to be made. And anything that's holding you back or dragging you down is just not going to work. And so in life, we get to make choices. We get to decide if we want to settle or if we don't. And if you're here, you're probably somebody who has somewhere along the way prayed for, set the intention that you don't want to settle, that you want to have your best life ever. And you've got to recognize what comes with that. And what comes with that is things that you are attached to and things that you love that are still you settling are going to go away. So I think that a lot is going to change really quickly in the collective, in the world, I'm in the US, in the country. I think there's a lot of moving energy. And if people have been holding on to their blind spots, they've been holding on to their old beliefs and their old ways of doing things, it is going to feel like the rug got pulled out from beneath you because the energy is going to move so fast. If you are ready to go and you're saying, I surrender and I'm actually ready to take action in alignment with this new journey that I don't understand, and maybe I feel like a newbie, a beginner, and if you just surrender to that and let yourself move forward, you're going to have an epic year. And so a lot of people are going to see things just drastically, exponentially change. They just keep showing me, financially, a lot of people are going to just really 10x, 100x their financial situation overnight. Simultaneously, there are going to be a lot of companies that shut down. So I just keep saying the writing's been on the wall. There's been a lot of stuff that people have known has got to end at some point. It's shaky. It's a shaky foundation. And a lot of those things, and specifically with different companies and businesses that have been built on shaky energy or inauthenticity, it's going to crumble this year because they just keep showing me, it's the image of like this foundation and there's this bright light underneath it. And this light is just growing, and it's cracking the entire foundation. It's shooting up from the ground from that cracked foundation and just blasting that open. Like anything that suppressed the light, anything that suppressed the truth, that could only last for so long. And so there's this deeper knowing we always have within us when things are kind of shaky. And sometimes that deep knowing is this is going to work out. It's just really tough right now, but there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes that deeper knowing is this is doomed to fail and I'm holding on for dear life, but like it's probably not going to work out. And we can pretend like we don't know what the truth is, but the deeper you go, the more you realize you really do. And so whatever that deep knowing is, that's what's going to happen. So a lot of people are going to be humbled in big ways. As a lot of things end, that's where new things can get birthed. And so I would just say all the seeds that you've been planting that have been in highest alignment for you over the last 4 years are going to finally start to get some room to breathe. They're just showing me they finally get some sunshine. They finally start growing. When you plant a seed, you can feel like nothing's growing because it takes a long time, right? You're not seeing what's growing beneath the surface. But a lot of things had to energetically recalibrate and a lot of things had to move in the physical to make space and make room for what you're wanting. And so if you've been feeling frustrated with your manifestations, I want you to get out of that energy and understand that it's all been moving for you and that things are going to drop in really, really fast. They can drop in so quickly. And so remember that when you're working in the energetic realm, it's not this slow and steady, we grow. It can feel like I'm going backwards, I'm going down, whatever, and then quantum leap. And so that's what we're working with right now. It's a matter of energy moving, and then what you want can just drop right in. What I want to say is because a lot of things are crumbling, it's going to open up a lot of space for opportunities that you might not have had before. So the best way I can describe, like, can I describe that better? The best way I can describe it is they're not, like, players are getting knocked out of the game, so to speak. And because of that, now there's room where maybe you were kind of hidden or in the shadows or overlooked. And now finally people can see you. And so I just want you to trust that. I also want you to recognize that as things like, even if there's social media platforms that get taken away, that get like anything weird that's happening with social media, if you market there, whatever, you've got to just trust that it's directing you to the space where you want your energetic resources to be. And so you're going to start to learn the value of like being ahead of your time, where, and by that I mean when you follow alignment and when you follow like where your higher self is taking you, even when it doesn't make sense, you're going to realize that you start to do things where then you look back and you go, oh my God, I'm so glad I made that change 5 months ago, because just now I'm realizing why that was so important. Versus if I had just kept trying to force my resources and my energy in that direction, it was all going to fall apart and then I would have just wasted a lot of time. And so you're going to start to realize what it's like to be ahead of everything. But the most important thing for you is to understand that like if you are in authenticity and integrity and you're really clear on what you're manifesting, it's going to come to fruition. And you have to hold that knowing, because the deeper we get into this, and by this I mean the frequency of this planet is shifting and the way that things work are changing, and the new kids coming in are different. And so we're really working on an energetic level where telepathy is stronger than ever before. We're energetically connected in conscious ways more than ever before. And so things can really change at the drop of a hat. And that will feel very out of control if you're not understanding what's happening. But when you understand how energy works, you're going to realize, wow, things can change in any direction at the drop of a hat. And it's not this thing that throws me off, because I can just switch the energy in the way that I want really quickly as well. So what else do you want to say about that? You need to be ready for things to change. You need to be ready to be dynamic. You need to be ready to bring a new flavor to what you're doing. You need to be ready to bring a new type of voice to what you're doing. The only thing that's really going to block you is if you're really committed to holding on to the way things were. And so again, it's a fast energy. Everything is wanting you to move really quickly. If you have to move really quickly and you're carrying a bunch of baggage, you're going to get lost. You're going to be left behind. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities that you can just jump on and take it to the moon. But if you're holding on to all of your baggage, which is like, I'm holding on to people, I'm holding on to old ways of doing things, I'm holding on to this business I built because I'm committed to it. There are a lot of people that are trying to force things right now. that are just not the right thing for you. I'm just going to tell you that. It's just not the right thing for you. And so you have to get out of your own way, and you have to realize that you are going to be guided to what's for you, and it might not be what you expect, or it might be a different angle or iteration of what you're trying to do. So I want you to really notice where you are attached to doing something in a certain way because of your ego. And that can also be being attached to a certain person. So I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, a lot of relationships are going to end, and new relationships are going to come in real quick. Real quick. The aligned relationship. A lot of businesses are going to end, and then the new business, the new career opportunity is going to come in real quick. Look at that. If you're watching the video, a thumbs up. It's going to happen really, really fast. But what all of this is about is that lion energy. It's that potency. It's about truth. It's about trust. It's about integrity. Do you feel the frequency behind these words? It's really powerful. It's a piercing energy. And so we're shattering through illusion. We're piercing through illusion. And we are getting to the core of who we really are, not who we've been conditioned to be. And so with that, I want you to understand that if you've been feeling really foggy the last couple of years, the last couple of months, there has been a big fog, and there's been a sludge. There's been this molasses kind of feeling, and that has been for a reason. And I know it's really inconvenient. Trust me, human me knows how inconvenient and annoying it is. But guess what? Our souls don't give a shit if it's inconvenient. Our souls don't give a shit if it's not on our timeline. Our souls are keeping us on the timeline our souls want us to be on, and they don't give a shit if it's inconvenient for our human experience. And so I know that you want to manifest XYZ faster. I know you want to be ahead, blah, blah. It is truly just a waste of time for you to be telling yourself you're behind. So I want you to listen. I want you to hear all those voices in your head of like, I should be further ahead. I should already have met my person. I should have already had kids. I should have already been here with my career, with my finances. I should have already bought a home, whatever the fuck you're telling yourself. I want you to listen to that. And I want you to say to that, it's complete bullshit, because whose timeline is that? And where did that timeline come from? That is literally like comparing yourself to what Western medicine doctors tell you are your ideal lab ranges. It literally is irrelevant. It's just incorrect. It's comparing yourself to a sick society. It's not helpful, and it's just not true. And so your soul is saying it's such bullshit. You're creating stories in your head that are making yourself feel shitty for literally no reason. Guess what? If that's what's been happening, if you have been aligning yourself and trying to take action, and you're still in sludge and molasses, if you've been doing the inner reflection work, you've just got to look at yourself and realize this is happening for a reason. This is not me. My soul is saying, stay put. Stay put while we rearrange everything, because there's just more to reflect on. And so you've been in a reflection period, you've been in a learning period, and the more you've surrendered to that, the more ready you're going to be to launch forward. And so it's just really kind of a waste of time and energy to be telling yourself you should be further ahead. I don't have anything else to say about it other than just like literally, there's nothing you could have done to change it. It was what it was. And if you had found a way to circumvent that sludge, guess what? More sludge would have been put in front of you, because you're supposed to be slow right now. You're supposed to be slow. Things are supposed to be confusing. You're supposed to be in a fog. It just was what it was. So there's really no point in getting upset with yourself. This is where you have to realize, hey, like, I'm having a human experience. My higher self, source, the divine, like, that's actually what's all in charge. Sorry, but it's the truth. And so the more you surrender to that, the more willing you will be to actually co-create with the divine. And when you can do that, you're going to move things really quickly. This is not a, hey, guess what? I'm in charge and I'm telling everybody what to do. It is, hey, this is my desire. Like, this is what's on my heart. This is what I want. But then also, source, what are you saying? Hey, higher self, like, what do you have to say to me? Soul, what do you have to say to me? And those are all just extensions of the same thing. And soul might say, no, like, you need to take this time for yourself right now. Hey, you need to learn some lessons here. You need to sit in this for a little bit. And you say, okay, you know what? I think maybe you can see something I can't see. And so there's a real lesson of surrender. It is preparing you to become a master. So when you think about how student becomes master, I want you to think about that process. There is a time of being a humble student, and we're all humble students, and we're also all teachers. But we can only become true embodied teachers if we take that time to be true humble students. And you have been in humble student energy, and you need to continue to be a little bit more. And the more you surrender to that and realize there's shit I don't understand, I don't know, and so universe, teach me, the more you're going to learn. And the more you let yourself learn, the more you're going to step into real mastery. They just keep showing me the Karate Kid. It's that kind of energy, right? So you have to let yourself be schooled a little bit. You got to surrender to that, and that's where you're going to enter real mastery. A lot of people are trying to enter mastery by never actually fully engaging in or surrendering to the student process. And that is why they just keep ending up in these same cycles, because they've never actually learned deep wisdom. They never actually gone through it. They never actually surrendered to a master energy teaching them, right? The divine will teach you, source will teach you, God will teach you, whatever you want to say. And so it's starting to really let life show you these deeper lessons. And so that's why a lot of this reflection and integration and really looking big picture at the last 4 years, let this take time. This is so crucial, because you cannot just zoom through to the next year without integrating that, because this has been where you have been forged in the fires, is what they're saying. You've been forged in the fires, and you have to understand who you have been guided to become. Who are you now? And if we don't slow down and integrate and reflect on that and have that inner dialogue, we cannot grow up and we cannot mature. And so there's a new level of maturity that's really being asked of us. And so if you want to create big things in your life, you've got to take a step back, step into that humility, and ask how you're being asked to mature and actually step into that. And so with that, you've got to release things that are keeping you in, this is what they're saying, immature energy. It's just going back to immature energy. And there's a lot that could be keeping you there. Mostly relationships, mostly friendships, mostly old patterns or behaviors. Like, you've got to just release what you're holding on to and get over it and start new. So we have to kind of look at this as, this is reparenting. This is inner child work of, hey, if I am the responsible adult parent, what am I going to say to my inner child of like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is our bedtime. This is what we're eating. This is how we're taking care of ourselves. It's really getting into this flow of true alignment and setting up structures that are going to be truly healthy for us. You can't know what's really healthy for you if you haven't reflected on what you're engaging with that's not in your life. And so you're going to be shown really clearly what's healthy and what's not. And so I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of things that people have been holding on to that are on the surface not unhealthy, but they're not expansive, and they're not creating a flow in your life that is inspiring, that is creative, that is expansive. They're just keeping you in the status quo, and then you're wondering why you're not manifesting something new. And so you've got to really look out with a critical eye if the things in my life are just keeping me in my status quo, if they're just keeping me comfortable, if they're fun, if they're good, if they're great. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And so it's when we start to engage in things that are a bit outside of our comfort zone, and we start to jump into new flows, what you're really looking for is a stream of energy that's going to take you somewhere. And so certain people can do that for you, right? And so, I mean, I'm biased, but I'm just going to say this. People always tell me, it's like if someone comes into my life, their life changes fast. If you're friends with me, if you're dating me, like, your life is going to change really, really quick. It's just how it goes with me. I'm a fast river stream. And there are people in my life, right, my friends, where I'm like, you are a fast river stream, and they take me with them, and I take them with me. And that's where you start to really amp up the energy in your life, and that's what we want to be in alignment right now with. But there are other people that are just like a nice pond or a nice lake, and you're just swimming and you're having fun, and that's all fun and good. And look, I'm not telling you that's bad. I'm just the messenger. I'm just telling you what the guides are saying. This is why you're not moving forward. It's because you're hanging out and you are chilling in the pond. You're chilling in the lake. That's different than jumping in the river and going to a new destination. And so you've got to ask yourself where you want to go. But the intentions and the choices intentions you set and the choices you make early 2025 are going to keep you in a vibrational track that's going to carry you through the next 3 years. So choose wisely. And a lot of the energy with the guides is like, get over it. There's a lot of whining that's been going on for people. I'm just going to tell you, there's so much whining. There's so much victim energy. There's so much I want someone else to figure it out for me. I want everything to be so easy, blah, blah, blah. Your life is not easy because you're not making hard choices. When you make hard choices, your life becomes easy. I will tell you that. So everything that allows me to manifest very easily and that allows me to just get things delivered effortlessly and not try very hard, that has been because I've made really tough choices and I've done tough things, hard things up front. I've cleared a lot of energy up front. And that has allowed everything else to flow. But what happens is people, they don't want to upset people. They don't want to ruffle feathers. They're worried about their image. They're afraid to release things. Like, it's just all of this fear and scarcity energy, and that's fine. But then you're going to stay in that same pond and then don't wonder why your life hasn't changed. But the world is going to change. And if you don't also change, you're going to feel left behind. And so that's the thing, is we're stepping to this age of innovation. It's a very innovative energy. It's very advanced. And if you're somebody that resists advancement, and you can say that you're very into that, but like, if you're not really fully open to very new ways of doing things, and I'll say even in the spiritual space, what they're saying, it's like, think about all of us spiritually who are just like, don't want AI. And I'm one of these people. It's like, guess what? AI is part of this. It's happening. And so when we're resisting it, we are not leaning into the innovation. Like, when innovation is happening, it's happening. And if we avoid it, then it's just going to start happening in ways that don't feel good. But if we can start to engage with it, we can start to shift the innovation so that it is happening in a way that is in alignment for all of us, instead of it turning into some scary thing. So it's like, as things are changing, we have to make sure that people who are in alignment with love and truth and integrity and authenticity are putting their hands in that pot as well, to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Because just the stakes are getting higher. Things are moving really, really fast, and people have to learn to speak up more. People in our community have to learn to speak up more. Right now, there are so many new systems and structures that are going to be asked to be created. And so if you are if you're being passive, essentially, you are going to experience repercussions. I'm just going to tell you that. If you're being passive in your life, if you're hoping somebody else is going to figure it out, if you're hoping somebody else is going to speak up first, all of that energy, like, did you learn nothing from 2020? Wow, this is getting really aggressive, but this is what it is. Like, these are the lessons you're meant to learn about speaking up, about advocating for yourself, about not being afraid about who you might lose for what you say. Like, if people in your life can't engage in a healthy conversation, if they can't look at things, if they don't know how to have a friend that they disagree with, then like, why are they in your field? And that has bigger implications for your field. So it's really a matter of, are you dedicated to your vision? Are you dedicated to your mission? And are you willing to make the tough choices to make that happen? If you know that part of your vision or your mission is to create new education systems for kids, if you know that you're going to advocate for children, like, what are you actually doing about that? And so again, there's been a lot of talk and there's been a lot of thought. And so these next 3 years are about, what action am I taking? And when you start to take action, you're going to find that the things that are meant for you are going to come in. A lot of people have been stalled because they have been prepared to take action in the wrong direction. And in the wrong direction could mean thinking too small, or going before they're actually ready. You have an idea, but that idea isn't mature enough yet. It's not crystallized enough yet. And so what I want to say is, this also goes hand in hand with, like, again, there's this really strong student master kind of thing they keep bringing up. It's like, who have you talked to about this? It's worth it to have really strong soundboards of people who can think really big as well, and maybe challenge some of your ideas, even if you come back to where you started, because you might be thinking too small, or you might be really committed to kind of the wrong direction, because sometimes we just start to go in a certain direction, and that can be because of our fatigue, because of our fear, because we think that's going to be easier. We're still in a pattern of playing small or not fully speaking our truth. And so we start to create an idea of this big idea that allows us to keep hiding, and we can't hide anymore. This is very much about people learning to communicate clearly and honestly and potently. And that's a real art we've lost. We've lost a lot of art. And so that is really what we're being asked to step back into. Can we engage in healthy discussion again? Can we have people share ideas that are controversial or new, and people actually just be open and receptive? Can we learn the art of communication in a deeper way? Can we learn to be in healthier relationships that are calibrated to the changing times? Can we start to engage in healthy discussion about how we're actually going to change the education system? What's going to happen with the health system? There's been, again, a lot of spiritual bypassing, and there's been a lot of floating around in the ethers and hanging out there and hoping that all of the 3D normies are going to change things. The 3D normies aren't going to change things. You there who's floating around in the ethers, you need to get out of the ethers and into the 3D, and you need to start speaking up, and you need to start taking action and building things. We have to learn how to build things. And so that is a new muscle to flex for a lot of people. Right? There are people who are going to meet you there and who have that skill set, are so many people who have woken up and who want to engage in this. And so this year, we're really going to go deeper into collaboration. You've got to collaborate. This is no longer a me, me, me thing. The last 4 years have been very much a, I need to go inward and figure out myself. I need to look at my shit. This is a, we're building new things together, very real things. And that's going to be done in a collaborative energy. But if you had tried to do that 3 years ago, you probably would have chosen the wrong partner. You probably would have tried to build this big thing that was not really the full vision. And so that's why it's like you have to let things ripen. You have to let things mature, is what they're saying. There's just, again, this huge energy of maturity where then you go, oh, that's it. And so often when you know, oh, that's it, it's coming hand in hand with this humbling moment, this humbling realization of, oh, shit, that's been my blind spot. Oh, whoa, I've been doing that. And so there's a reflection that comes to you through another person, A reflection comes and you realize, oh shit, I've been playing smaller. Oh shit, I've been trying to make this work when that's not really my mission. Oh shit, I've been in my ego. I'm holding on to that there. Oh shit, maybe that's not really what I need. Maybe I've been holding on to these surface level ideals, whatever. Like there's this oh shit, and you realize, oh, whoa, okay, this is what I'm being asked to step into, this new energy. And from there, you can actually see the path forward in a much clearer way instead of a more immature and hiding way. Again, not passive anymore, more action. And so we're moving out of that molasses, out of that fog, out of that frustration, right? A lot of people have felt very frustrated, rightfully so, but that was just the point. How do you meet frustration? How do you meet tension? And you either learned that lesson or you didn't. And if you keep trying to meet tension and frustration with that same energy that you used to that kept you stuck, then you're gonna struggle a lot. When you learn to surrender, it's like Devil's Snare in Harry Potter, and just release, you are going to start to see what is being shown to you. If it's all working for me, where is this guiding me? Instead of me resisting and trying to force old ways of doing things, can I be open to new ideas? And so even with things that we've downloaded and visions we've downloaded, a lot of those are still outdated. A lot of those are kernels. It's one puzzle piece, but other people have the other puzzle pieces that are going to come into play. And so that's the thing. And it's really, again, like, the big themes are how can you step fully into your potency, but can you understand potency in a mature way? Because a lot of people are trying to step into their full expression in an immature way. These are just the words that the guides are saying. I don't know. So it's this balance of potency. And the thing is, the more you step into real humility, the more you can step into true potency. They go hand in hand. And this is really just allowing yourself to be a vessel. And with this is really understanding and surrendering to who you are now and what is natural for you and what is easeful for you, and realizing this is my magic now. And maybe I've been trying to make myself out to be somebody that's really good at this or really good at that. But what am I actually good at? What's actually effortless for me? Where do people could they actually use me? And so it's kind of like, if we're all working on a group project and now is the time, what's my real skill set that I can provide? And so it's been cute trying to pretend like we had other skill sets or whatever, and everybody wanting to be somebody else. Literally not going to work anymore. It's just not going to work anymore. There's a lot of group projects that are grounding in. And so we've got to figure out, which one am I on? They're group projects. I can't tell you that enough. You have to be discerning with that, of course, but that is the big energy. So let's drop into some cards. I went longer than I thought I was going to go. What do we need to know for 2025? Themes for 2025. Set strong boundaries. Practice patience. It's time to transform. So very much in line with what I was just saying, setting the strong boundaries, practicing patience. Again, this is all about maturity, transformation, the phoenix energy we were talking about. And those boundaries are like simplification. And where have I been distracting myself? What's actually important to me? What are my real priorities? What's my real vision and mission? And I got to get serious about it. I think there's been a lot of energy. People are saying they want to do something, but I don't have time, or it's too hard. It's like all these excuses. And again, energy is moving quickly. No more time for that cutesy bullshit. You got to do it. So what is it going to take for you to do it? That's the question. No more excuses. And that's the setting strong boundaries with yourself. You got to reparent yourself a little bit, and you got to have some more discipline with yourself, I want to say. And when you do, that actually is what allows your genius and your oracle and your channel and your visionary to finally flow. That's the thing. Being patient is, I know this is going to happen. I'm not in my whiny energy. Oh, universe, you're not going to deliver to me. No. If source delivered this vision and this knowing in your heart, it's going to happen. And so when you're a mature adult, it's like, okay, honey, like, it's fine. You can wait an hour. You're going to be okay to get your ice cream. So we have to realize, again, where we're in those immature energies. I feel like this is sorry if this is at you, but it is what it is, right? 2025, what do we need to know? And I really, the beginning of 2025 is going to be a lot of clearing out your bullshit. I'm telling you this. Like, I don't care how self-aware you think you are, more shit's going to come up, and it's like, woof, right? And so people are going to realize that they have been their own problem for a long time. So all of us are going to be in this boat of realizing, wow, like, I've been in my own bullshit and I've been my own block. So it's realizing where we're still in that immature energy. The wasp, anger, retaliation, jealousy, restriction, death, and the Lady of the Lake, truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So this is who we're becoming. We are being the embodiment. We're becoming the embodiment of absolute truth. It takes a lot of courage to live in absolute truth, to realize where we've been in our own way. This sword, this imagery, this is about cutting through the illusion and just speaking the truth, embodying the truth, even when it's not comfortable for ourselves. You know when you are really speaking truth and embodying truth within yourself, when you are highly uncomfortable all the time. It's not easy to say those things. It's not easy to admit those things. It's real vulnerability. So we're ending up here, but the way that we get there, we have anger, jealousy, retaliation, restriction, and death. And so this is the death of my ego. This is me realizing where I'm holding myself back, because anger, retaliation, jealousy, that's all scarcity energy. That's all my ego. Those are all the things where, you know what, I'm jealous of that person. I want to be just like them. So I have all these weird behaviors and thoughts because of my jealousy. I'm angry about this. I want to retaliate. It's like, that's all of the ego. And when that's living deep within us, that's causing us to think certain thoughts and set certain intentions and have certain goals that aren't even our real goals, because the foundation of that is something that's not true. It's all of these illusions. It's all this scarcity. And so we have to clear all of this and get really honest with ourselves about what the hell's going on here. Because when you do, you're going to realize that's why you've been stuck this whole time, because you've been trying to force the universe to bring you somewhere that is not in true alignment. When you clear all of this stuff out, you're like, whoa, I've been trying to go left, and like, I actually want to go right, because now I'm not asking for my ego anymore. And so you realize I've been blocking myself the whole time. You have been restricted for a reason. It's been working for you, I promise. And so then that ego part of you dies, that jealousy dies, that scarcity energy dies, those illusions die. All of that is gone. And now I'm empowered in my full potency. I'm courageous, because I can look at myself with real self-awareness, because I've learned real discernment. And that's really the main lesson that everybody is being called up to learn, is discernment. And it's something that most people think that they're good at, they're horrible at. Lovingly. So this is how you learn real discernment, is you have this very rude awakening. What I'm going to tell you is that one of the ways that you learn this is you manifest exactly what you want in a package that you did not expect. So you manifest literally the perfect place to live, and it's in an area that you thought you didn't want to live in. It's smaller than you thought you wanted it to be. You manifest literally the perfect person, and they look different than the first 5 things you put on your wish list. Like, this is maturity. It's realizing that you think you know what you want, and you're just blocking yourself because you're living in your ego. You're living in these surface level things. And so a lot of people need a very rude awakening about what matters and what doesn't. And so when you feel this sense of sacred urgency, when you feel this real sense of mission and this real sense of like desire for deep love and desire to create the life that you really want, you start to realize, where am I holding on to shit that I think is important that's not really? So one example that just keeps coming up is about dating. And it might not be dating for you. It might be something else. It might be in your career, but I'm just going to bring up the dating example. There are a lot of people that right now are on the track to end up alone because they are so caught up in wanting certain things that are very surface level and are not what actually matters. And if they surrendered their list and said, universe, send me whoever is the most ideal partner for me at this time, who's going to be an amazing partner for me and make me really happy, and they watched who came into their life and they got over the surface level shit, they would be so fucking happy and they would meet someone tomorrow. But because so many people are holding on with their ego to these very surface level things that they think matter, like career is an example, or even where somebody lives, or even lifestyle things, looks, of course. People are like, yeah, I want someone who's this hair color, like things like that. I'm telling you, are in your own way. And that's where you have to have this rude awakening about, are you really embodied as your soul self and as an ascended master on this planet? Like, that's the maturity piece. When you're still caught up in that shit, like, you're not. That's the maturity piece. Or with career, right? There's a lot of people that are manifesting, certain amounts of money or certain things with their career. And it's like, if you hold on to this idea of how that's going to happen for you, of how you're going to make a lot of money, how you're going to be really happy in your career, you have an idea of how you want it to go. And because you're holding on so tightly or not paying attention to what the universe is trying to show you about what's working and what's not, you're going to struggle and be broke for a long time because you're holding on to it. But if you say, universe, like, I want to be financially provided for, I want to be living in my mission, I want to be happy and abundant and excited, just show me the way and I'm open to whatever it is, you will be guided to that really immediately, and you're going to start to make a lot of money and you're going to be living this amazing life. And so it's really surrendering the how. And people say that they're surrendered, but they're not. And that's the rude awakening that people have got to understand is going on right now. Okay, what else for 2025? Okay. Frog spirit, clear out the clutter, simplifying. What are all the extras? What am I holding on to? What doesn't really matter anymore? Wasp spirit, sometimes life stings. Oof, what I tell you. And this feels like the beginning of the year, right? We're going to have these stinging moments. We're going to lose people. We're going to lose things. Things are going to end. It's going to suck. It's going to be hard for the ego. It stings, and then that is how everything opens up. Whale spirit, trust the great mystery. That is trust the divine plan. Trust that there's something bigger going on. So you think it stings, but it's actually, redirection is protection. Rejection is redirection. Rejection is protection. Redirection is protection. All the things. This is the truth. Let's see what other energies are coming up. Okay. Twelfth house. This is our spiritual center. All things spirituality. Uranus, your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. Lightning energy. Libra, diplomatic, gracious, harmony, and balance in relationships. So this is going to be a very spiritual year in the fact that we're going to merge the spiritual and the physical. We're going to see that. I feel I think a lot of the UFO stuff and the ET stuff is going to come out. I feel like this year, if not by 2027, for sure, in a bigger way. A lot of that's going to start to get revealed. I think we're going to have a lot more people channeling the ETs, and we're going to have a lot more contact experiences for sure. I think for sure more of those documents are going to be shown. I mean, it's already been leaked, but a lot of that. But this is where, this lightning bolt moment, this is like my whole spiritual awareness has been rocked upside down. And what that really is like to Libra, for me, this is co-creation. This is like me realizing that it's not about living in the ethers and meditating and pretending this 3D stuff isn't working or resisting it. It's realizing like I have all this information, I have this higher connection so that I can actually ground it in and create something really beautiful in the 3D space. So it's actually merging those two. So it's actually bringing things into the physical. That's the co-creation. This is the manifestation. I think that if you are not really understanding the nuances and the science of manifestation, you're going to be left far, far behind, because the more you try to 3D shit, the more you're going to struggle. And it is what it is. I'm sorry. But like, again, if you're not innovating in your life, you're not innovating in your industry, if you're not innovating in your relationships, if you're not ahead of things and creating and co-creating, which includes if you're not working in the energetic realms, like this is where we are heading. This is where science is heading, all of this. You got to get ahead of the curve. And that's how you're gonna survive, I would say. And so this is about real co-creation. You realize that all of the things that you're learning spiritually, like it's not just about learning this and thinking about it in your head and noodling on it and reading books about it. It's about living it and what that actually looks like. And with that, again, it's, hey, how do we actually bring a lot of these downloads that we've gotten, these things that are important to us, how do we bring that into the physical? We've got to partner up with people. We've got to collaborate. We've got to be generous and willing to share our ideas and share our thoughts. And when you're holding on to your ego or jealousy or scarcity, then you're not willing to share those things with other people. And I'm not saying share with anyone and everyone. I'm saying you discern, and there are going to be certain people that are going to be really important for you bringing it to fruition. But a lot of things are not getting brought to fruition, like very tangible, real changes in our world that we need. Things about helping the environment, saving the earth, fixing our education system, fixing our healthcare system, like fixing our the mental health issues that are going on. There's very real things where people are getting all the puzzle pieces, but because they're being scarce and really they want, it's their ego that want, like, I want to be the one, I want to be known for this, I want it, whatever. It's all that ego that is blocking them from actually collaborating with different people who are also part of the bigger plan, so you could bring that forward together. Because you can't build a whole empire with just yourself. You can't. It is what it is, right? Like, we're designed, families are designed to be a unit, right? A king isn't the only person building a kingdom. There's a billion people involved, and it takes all of us working together. We cannot work together in collaboration if we are holding onto our egos, and if we're being self-centered, and if we're being immature. Sorry. Okay. This is good though. Because I know a lot of this has been kind of like tough love, blah, blah, blah. But because all of that is like, it feels like the first 3 months of the year, and then you figure this shit out and you just hit the ground running and like you launch and go. Again, people's lives are going to change monumentally this year. It's going to be massive manifestation. It's going to be massive like financial changes, health changes. Like, you're just going to feel like a lot of things finally fell into place. And that's really good. Like, there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of expansion. There's a lot of like good energy that wants to come through. And I'm talking about on the individual level, right? Like, there's going to be wonky shit that happens in the collective. But I know a lot of people that have had, sometimes you can have the best personal year in a year with the collective. It's like shitty as possible. That's part of a spiritual maturity, is being able to hold all of that, being able to hold all of those truths at the same time. Like, things can be horrible and amazing at the same time. But here we have Four of Swords, 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 10, oh, sorry, Wheel of Fortune, I was just looking at that, 4 of Cups, the Sun, and 10 of Pentacles. These are really, really good cards. And what this is like, okay, I'm resting, I'm recovering, I'm reflecting. The realization is what really matters. We're coming back to family, we're coming back to partnership, we're coming back to relationships. We are coming back to our inner child and our joy and our love. Again, this is a lot of inner healing. This is a lot of connection. This is a lot of working together. Again, like, I just think that because of the way technology has changed things, everybody has gotten a little bit too individualistic, and we've forgotten the importance of community and partnership. We've got to get back in person with each other. That is a huge thing this year. If you're not making an effort to be in person with people, you're going to struggle. You are. Okay? Like, who you're in person with matters. Wheel of Fortune. This is about, hey, here we are, divine timing. Like, cycles are changing. A new cycle is opening up. A lot of things that you felt like were like, am I the problem? Like, timing is up. You might feel this with health issues, with feeling confused or whatever you're struggling with. It's like, it's just been bad timing. Somebody can walk into your life and you're like, I've been waiting for you for my whole life. And they walk in and it's not that you did any single thing to trigger that. It was just, it's timing. It's the right timing. And that's what this card is about. It's like, we can feel really distraught. We can be overthinking everything and we try to figure everything out. And the universe just delivers. You manifest it. It can come out of nowhere. You don't have to understand where it's coming from. And as long as you're trying to figure out the how, you're really going to block yourself from receiving that divine intervention. So it is a time of energy just moving, and a lot of things are just going to get solved. But we enter into this really prosperous period. We enter into this period where there's a lot of joy and excitement and fun and play, and that divine child is lit up within. You've got to prioritize play this year. That's huge. Play in community. We're creating new communities. There's, again, a lot of coming back in person and exploring and figuring out new solutions, real life solutions, and like, it's just a trading energy, you know? And so a lot of times we'll return back to old ways of doing things, but we've innovated it. And so sometimes the older ways of doing things are the most advanced. I mean, think about healing back in the day, like using crystal technology and just using energy work. And that's actually like the advanced way of doing things now. Like now in a lot of ways, we've kind of gone backwards with certain things healing wise. And so again, you can think of, I think of nature as like really the most advanced way to move forward. And when we start to realize everything that we've needed is within ourselves, it's already on the planet. It's already between all of us. It's with our channel. It's with our connection to source, to the divine. Like, it's literally all right in front of us, just to work with that energy. And you can heal yourself and you can activate things and move energy in really quick ways. And you realize that some of these advancements that we think we've been making have almost been holding us back. And like the real advancement, the real technological advancement is energetics. And it is understanding how to work. Astrology to me is a technological advancement. You're so ahead of your time, you know? And I just think about the way the Egyptians did things. How did they build the pyramids? How did they build Stonehenge? Like we literally, because we've lost many people have lost their telepathic and telekinetic powers, we're behind. So this year is going to be a lot of holy shit moments. There's a lot of magic that wants to be revealed. There's a lot of divine intervention. There's a lot of cycles shifting. And this is going to be a year where big things are possible for you. But you have to align yourself with receiving them, which means you've got to surrender. You've got to release attachment. You've got to be open. You've got to be open to seeing what teachers and guides want to enter your life. And you've got to be willing to be the student. Be the student of your higher self, of source, and you will be very much rewarded. So I know there was a lot of kind of tough love in that, and that's because that's the beginning energy. And when you get through that, like the first 2 to 3 months, you are going to expand in huge ways, like massive glow up energy in your whole life, massive manifestation energy. It's going to be very obvious who has been doing that inner work and who is in integrity and who is like working with energetics and who's not. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like all the 3D shit's going to crumble, and you're going to watch as on the world stage, like things come out and things get revealed, and it's going to be so obvious. Again, all these immature energies, like the bickering, the belittling, like it's just going to become clearer and clearer and clearer. But for you here, I want you to focus on what you can control, which is your own inner connection, what you're spending your time on, what you're prioritizing, where you're holding yourself back. And you've got to commit to yourself that you are going to live your best life this year and get really clear on what actions you need to take to bring that into reality. And when you do that, amazing things are going to happen. All right. I'm going to end there for today. So let me know how this landed. Let me know what's coming up for you. It's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a big year. I'm super pumped. I feel like I'm so excited about the vision I have for CTC and what we want to bring forward for you. There's a lot of new energy. I'm going in like new directions and I'm excited. And I think all of us are going to be riding that train. So this is going to be us all jumping in, us all being willing to experience together, because we need to get out of this overthinking and sitting still and watching things on social media. We got to go and experience. It's the year of experience. So let your mind expand, let your heart expand, let your lessons expand, let everything expand, and have fun, go out and do things, get in the real world, and you are going to make a quantum leap. All right. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube. That means a lot to me. If you're listening on the podcast app, leave a comment on one of my recent Instagram posts and let me know how this lands and what you're thinking. And if you think this would help somebody out in your life, or if you want to share it with people who follow you on social media, please take a screenshot, share the link, send it with people you love. That means the world to me and helps us to continue to grow this community, and these messages from Spirit can reach more and more people. All right, so thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will chat with you very soon. Happy 2025.